Hey guys, what's going on? This is the conservative speaking, and I wanted to talk about the six people that were killed during a mass shooting uh, committed by a black. And we all know how angry the blacks are. But one of the narratives that seems to be spun in the media is only white people commit mass shootings, because anytime you hear of a mass shooting, it's automatically connected with white folks. I don't really understand why, considering that the blacks commit more mass shootings than whites, and that is known statistically. And the definition of a mass shooting is a shooting that occurs where there are four or more people shot. So when four or more people are shot, that constitutes as a mass shooting. And the blacks have been known for doing this. As a matter of fact, the blacks have been known for committing even more high profile mass shootings, such as the one that occurred about a couple weeks ago in Arkansas, where 27 people were shot and one was killed. And that mass shooting was committed by a black in Arkansas during a car show that was hosted by the blacks. And we know that the blacks always resolve their conflicts with violence. Everybody knows that about the blacks. But the one thing that is not connected, or that the one thing that's not correlated with the blacks, is mass shootings. And the blacks commit mass shootings every single day, especially on the weekend. On the weekend, on average, the blacks can shoot at least 12 people, and at least 3 or 4 people will wind up dead as a result of that. Black people are violent people. The blacks, for the most part, not all, but most blacks um, behave as if they were raised by animals. Most of the blacks um, are not domesticated. They are not tamed because they behave like wild animals. They behave like wild animals because they're coming out of family structures in which the father has been taken away from the household, and because of that, the blacks tend to take out their aggressions that they have received being raised by their mothers, because these blacks wind up having the identity of their mothers, which is angry, spiteful, impatient, and vile and malicious. Especially with black mothers. Black mothers are raising men to be weak. They are emasculating the men. They are training them to have their mindset, and that's how these black men continue to carry themselves. And then they go out and commit the most heinous crimes that usually get swept under the rug, unless it's a crime of this magnitude. All right, it's amazing. It is just amazing. Um, and so we will go through this. The latest mass shooting was in Sacramento, and then they had another one in Dallas too, as well, where multiple people were shot and multiple people died. And the person that committed that was also a black. You know that it's committed by the blacks when they refuse to identify the perpetrator. Anytime they refuse to identify the perpetrator, even though the perpetrator was apprehended, you know that a black committed it. Because had a white person committed it, his name and his face would have been plastered all throughout the media. But if the blacks are doing it, um, they will hide. I mean, they will hide the name and the face for as long as they can until they feel it's necessary for them to reveal it, because it actually goes against the narrative of the fake news mafia. All right. Which is pretty much any station that refuses to hold the blacks accountable for their actions. And so we will go through this, and we'll be able to see this. I will narrate this story throughout. This is a story that came from KCRA, and we'll be able to go through the footage, and we'll be able to then determine the cause and how I guess the community is going to cope with yet another black on black homicide. Now, keep in mind, the victims were not all black, but a majority of them were. So without further ado, let's roll it.
Breaking news at 7 coming out of Sacramento. Police have made one arrest in connection with yesterday's mass shooting. We received this photo of DeAndre Martin. This is a previous booking photo from the Arizona Department of Corrections. Tonight, he is the only person in custody.
He's 26-year-old DeAndre Martin, and he was arrested in...
DeAndre Martin. I wonder if this person was born a female, and I wonder if this person is a female pretending to be a male, because there's no way that a biological man will be named DeAndrea Martin.
In connection to the K Street shooting. He was taken into custody on assault with a firearm and being a prohibited person in possession of a firearm.
Tonight, we're also learning more about the 6 people who were shot and killed Sunday morning. Family members grieving as police look for more answers and who's responsible.
So it looks like we have three. It's a mix. It looks like we have 3 blacks that were killed and 3 Hispanics. So it's a mixture, 3, 3, and 3. But again, black on black violence.
Sacramento's chief of police releasing other information today on the shooting.
Yeah, the chief says that 3 buildings and 3 cars were hit by that gunfire, and officers found more than 100 shell casings at that scene.
And all the names.
Amazing. These people let off 100 shots. It's amazing. 100 shots. And they happened to hit 28 people, and 6 people died.
Shows a fight, then gunshots. The gunfire lasting nearly a minute in all. The first fire department crews were sent to the scene at 2:04 a.m.
With one, he's down in the alleyway, multiple GSWs to the chest.
At 2:13, it was declared a multi-casualty incident as medics raced to 10th and K and 11th and K.
By fire, multiple victims, CPR is in progress. This one, several. We're doing chest compression, 10th and K.
Patients were rushed to area hospitals between 2:25 and 2:45 a.m. as dispatchers confirmed multiple deaths. More than an hour later, at 3:52, Sacramento police issue a social media post calling it a shooting with multiple victims. Another hour passes and a second post from police just after 5 a.m. brings clarity to the scale of the tragedy, confirming officers found at least 15 shooting victims, including 6 who are deceased. By 6:30, Police Chief Kathy Lester meets with reporters for the first time.
We are asking for the public's help in helping us to identify the suspects in this.
At 6:45, City Hall opens as an information center for victims' families. 4 hours later, Mayor Darrell Steinberg and other elected officials hold a news conference.
I'm heartbroken and I'm outraged. I'm outraged.
Keep in mind, this will continue to happen. I don't care what anyone says. This will continue to happen. You're going to continue to have victims' families coming out sobbing and crying and saying, "Oh my goodness, stop the violence, stop the violence. Oh, this is so bad. Oh my God. Oh, stop the shooting. Oh my goodness, black people, stop killing each other." You're going to hear the same regimen over time and time and time again. And then you're going to hear elected officials like the mayor, who sounds like a Democrat, saying, you know, like, hugs are not enough. We need to take away the guns. We need to take away people's rights to own a gun. The guns are the problem. You don't have a gun problem, Mayor. You have a morale problem. All right? These people that are committing these crimes, they have a black heart. Of course, they're never ever going to go after the culprit like they should have went after this culprit who committed multiple violations and should have been thrown in jail and lock the key away. I mean, this guy violated his probation multiple times, and yet he was allowed to not only leave out, but he was able to get his hands on an illegal gun. Not a legal gun, but an illegal gun, which proves that he doesn't necessarily need to go into a gun shop to get a gun. Okay? How many illegal guns do you think are flooding our streets right now? How many illegal guns are in our streets? We probably have more illegal guns in our streets than legal guns in the gun shop. But they want to make sure that the very people who actually follow the law, they want to make sure that those people, they were trying to make it hard for those people to actually to gain access to a gun to protect themselves. What they really, while allowing the criminals to arm themselves and committing the crimes. All right? The people that are committing the crimes are not law-abiding citizens. All right? They're the criminals who cannot live in society, who really should be in jail. But they're here, but they're living within us. And the politicians do not do anything about it. We have a whole bunch of soft crime DAs who refuse to hold these people accountable for their actions. And things like this are only going to happen. This will continue to happen. Let's move on.
Our community deserves better than this.
40 minutes later, police update the number of injured victims from 10 to 12. They also confirm officers recovered at least one firearm at the scene. Fast forward to 3 p.m. when Chief Lester announces there were multiple shooters, but no suspect information was released.
We have video from our police camera at 10th and K Street that captured.
Listen, anytime you have a female police chief, you know no crimes are going to be solved. Especially in California. You know crimes are not going to be solved. These people love the criminals. All right? They have soft on crime DAs that won't do a darn thing about this. So these instances will continue to happen. Mark my word. Especially if you put a female in charge, because the female has the mama effect. Oh, look at them. Look at the poor blacks. Oh no, let's not go after the blacks. They suffered enough. They went through 400 years of slavery. Let them go out and kill other people. They have the right to. They're venting
Portions of the shooting.
At 8:19, the first victim was identified. At 8:30, bodies were removed from the scene. Shortly after 10 p.m., officers started to remove some of the evidence markers. It wasn't until 6 a.m. Monday when police reopened streets near 10th and K. At 9, all 6 victims were identified by the coroner's office. And just before noon, police announced their first arrest in one of the deadliest mass shootings in Sacramento history.
This guy this person had to be a female. Trust me. This person had to be a female. You know, I've seen people in facilities where they were where they were one gender and then they pretended to be another. This had to be a female pretending to be a male. How is your name DeAndre? You know for a fact that this guy had to come from a single parent household. I already know. This man has a feminine name and had feminine energy when he chose to shoot to shoot multiple people and kill 6 people.
And tonight, we still don't know what triggered the gunfire.
Amazing. So, obviously, this guy was apprehended, but he was apprehended on weapons charges. He wasn't even charged with murder. He was charged with weapons charges. See what I'm talking about? This is exactly what I'm talking about. They're still going to post bail for this guy, and this guy's going to find a way to leave out, unless. But then again, there may be a good chance that he may. Because of the because of the depth of the case, because of the magnitude of the case, they may actually sit him in jail. But they're going to set bail for this guy. They're going to give this guy an opportunity to get out, because that's the justice system, especially in California. They let the citizens of Sacramento down multiple times. There's no stopping in them doing it again. But this is what I'm talking about with the blacks. The blacks are just a bunch of angry people. I mean, they're a bunch of angry people that have the mindset of animals. They're a bunch of black animals. These are not black people. These are black animals. They have no disregard for anyone. All right? These black animals need to be locked in their cages, and the key needs to be thrown away. Treat them like the animals that they are. Put them in their cage and give them nothing. This guy has been given way too many chances to live in society, and he has failed every single time. And because he has failed, and yet we're letting him back in society, then we are failing society. All right? We live as human beings. He lives as an animal. He needs to be treated like an animal. Throw his behind in the cage. Throw him in the cage and lock away the key. I promise you, if I was the mayor, I would actually ask for more federal dollars to build more cages, because we need to put these blacks in cages. All right, they behave like animals, and we need to treat them as such. But what do you guys think? Leave a comment in the comment section after you subscribe to my channel. Smash the like button if you like the video. Share this video if you find it informative, and subscribe to my channel, as I'll be able to provide you content on the double. Also, when you subscribe to my channel, click on the notification button so that you will be informed when my channel drops new content. And with that being said, this is D Conservative signing out. Have a blessed day, guys.